afternoon. This is Debbie Broughton coming to you from Nana's Stamping Room. I'm hoping that you could join me this afternoon. I'm just going to wait a few minutes to see if anybody gets on before I actually start showing you how to make these cute candy holders. So if you're here, if you could just comment in the comments, and I'll try to get my picture a little bit straighter. There you go, that might work. Even though it always looks straight before I start, when I start it's always just a little up. Well, that's pretty good. Hi Marianne, how are you today? It's cold and rainy here because it must be winter. Okay, I'm going to get started. This is what we're going to make, this little box, and it holds 3 Hershey Nuggets. They just fit in there. They fit very tight, so you don't have much room to play around, but there they are. And then it just closes. You know how come things work all the time? You practice and it worked. There you go. Okay, so another thing that you could do with them, instead of putting the love on, you could put this belly band on, and then you could decorate it maybe with some butterflies or some flowers. That's just a different idea. And plus, this helps it stay closed better. For this one, you really have to be careful when you pick it up, because sometimes it tends to open. But I couldn't resist putting the love on there. So, hi Donna. So let's get started today. So I'm going to start out with, I'm just using up some of my 6x6 designer series paper. And this is the plaid, which I know is retiring, but I have some left over, so I thought I'd go ahead and try one in the plaid. This one is made with the Flower for Every Season DSP, and this is the Dandelion Garden DSP. So let's get our measurements cut here first. Let's get it cut and scored. So for the plaid, it doesn't really matter which way I cut the paper because it looks the same every way. On this one, I wanted to be sure to have the 6-inch piece to go across like this so that the flowers would all be right side up when you went to open it. Okay, so we're going to put the paper in here, and the one side is 6 inches and the other side is 5 1/4. Oh, snow again, Marianne? Didn't you just get finished with snow? I know Renee got a lot over the weekend, I think, or maybe it was last weekend. Sometimes she got a lot over the weekend. Okay, so, hi Anna. How's the weather in South Carolina? So now I'm going to turn it so that my 6-inch side is at the top, and I'm just going to use my cutter today because it's easier to see on the video than my scoring board. So on the 6-inch side, we're going to score, and remember, because you won't believe how many of these I made. This one I made, and I pressed too hard when I was scoring the DSP, and so I had to tape a piece of it. This one I scored it wrong. Oh, here's the one where I had to. If you can see, there's scotch tape there because I pressed too hard when I was scoring, and then I scored it wrong. So that one did not turn out at all. But, so you don't want to put much pressure. So the first score side is going to be, on the 6-inch side, it's going to be 3/4. So let me put my arm up there and get it here on the 3/4. And then I'm going to score. And then I'm going to move it to 1.5 inches. And as always, when this is over, I'm going to do a post above it, giving all the measurements and pictures so that it'll be easy for you to put this together, because it really is easy once you get the hang of it. I was just having a hard time earlier with the one that didn't turn out. It was my fault. I was talking on the phone and trying to make it at the same time. Well, it would be strange if you had snow, Anna, in Anderson or Seneca, because it doesn't snow there very much. So this is 4.5. And so I better quit talking and pay attention. And 5 1/4. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it this way with the 5 1/4 inch at the top. And I'm going to score it at 3/4. And I'm going to score it at 2 1/4. And I know I'm saying these pretty fast, but I will post all the measurements and pictures in another post when we finish this video. So this is 2 1/4. And then 3. And then 4 1/4. And that'll be it. Okay. So these score lines, it is such a rainy day here that my light is not very good. So it's going to be really hard for you to see the score lines. But I'm just going to fold it on all the score lines and use my bone folder. That way it'll be easier for you to see. And I kind of have to hold it up to see myself, to see where all the score lines are. Okay, I think I might have been talking and I might have messed this up. We will just have to see. Doesn't seem like there's quite enough score lines in there. Well, but there might be. Okay, so next I'm going to score this side. And this side. Okay. I must have missed some score lines because I don't have enough. So let me put this in here again and we're just going to do it again. On the 1/6 inch side, which is this side, we are going to score at 3/4. Okay? And then we're going to score at 1 1/2. That's the one I missed. At 1 1/2. We're hoping. And then I'm going to score at 4 1/2. Thank you for putting up with me today. And then we're going to score at 5 1/4. Which I did. Okay, so now we have enough score lines in there. I knew something didn't look right. So, I have a score line here, a score line here, another score line down here, and another score line here. There's lots of score lines on this. And then we kind of already did these on this side. We didn't do this one. Okay. So, now we're going to cut. So, we're going to look. One of these tabs is a 1/2 inch. You have your 6 inch side this way. One of your tabs is a 1/2 inch and one is 3/4. The 1/2 inch is the top. So, what I do, just to be sure, because those are such close measurements, I get out my ruler and I measure it. Okay, this is the 3/4 side. That's the 1/2 inch. The 1/2 inch goes at the top. So, I should have picked a lighter color when I was doing this demo so that the score lines would be easier to see. Let me just open my blinds a little. Even though it's dreary, I still might get some light in here. And then it'll be easier for you to see. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to cut off these first two tabs. There's a big one and a little one. Okay, and we're going to get rid of that. And then we're going to cut this next tab. We're going to cut the top off. And we're going to cut this side at an angle so that it'll be easy to fold. And we're going to cut this side at an angle so that it's easy to fold. And then we're going to cut, there's a fold, we're going to cut this next fold line right here. And this bottom one, we're going to do the same as we did this one. We're going to cut off the top. And we're going to cut it at an angle. And then we're going to cut the top of this one at an angle just down to the score line. So this is what you end up with. And then you're going to do the same thing to the other side. So as not to make you sit here and watch me cut, I have one already cut. So here we go. This side is the same as this side. So I would just cut on this one, I would just cut this side to match. Then I put some tearing tape right here, and then on this side, just to help it hold together a little bit, I put a little piece on each of these tabs on the outside. So let's go ahead and take off our white paper on the tearing tape using our pick a tool. Hi Judy, I just saw that you got on. I'm glad that you could join us this afternoon. Okay, so I got that piece off. I need to get this piece off. I would have to say that I don't know why, when I decide to do these things live, I just made 3 of these to practice. And I messed up on one, but the other 2 I did pretty good on. Okay, so we're going to get this. We're going to get this. Well, maybe we're going to get this one. We don't know. Maybe I didn't push it down hard enough, because the tape wants to come off with the... There we go. Then we're going to turn it over. Take off this piece, which came off very easily. And take off this piece, which again came off very easily. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit hard to see, but I'm going to fold this tab like this, and this tab, and then I'm going to fold them over and have them even with the side of the box. Then I'm going to do the same thing with this tab, turning it this way for you, and get it even with the side of the box. Then I'm going to take this tab and I'm going to fold it over to kind of hold those in and make a stronger side. Then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to take this tab, fold it over, make it even with the box, fold this tab in, make the box even, I'm going to fold down this tab. Now I'm going to take my bone folder and kind of just give it a good rub here so that all these two sides stay together. Now what I should have done before I did the bottom, but you can do it after, is to get my corner rounder. Instead of snipping these with the V cut, we're going to corner round these because it just gives it a little more of a finished look. So you want to put it in your corner rounder and you want to be sure that it comes up all the way. There we go. On both sides to these little, can you see it right here? There's this little stopper. You want to be sure that it's in there on both sides, and then you want to just press down and it should cut it off. Okay. I kind of missed a little bit on that one. Okay. So now, this tab will fit right in your box, and there you go. It really doesn't take that long. Now let's finish it off. So we have these are our strips that we're going to use to cover up the nuggets. Here's my three nuggets. It's been hard not to eat these, because they're very delicious. They're milk chocolate with almond. Okay, I'm trying to fix my laptop. Okay, so these are cut at 1 inch by 3/4 of an inch. By 3 1/4 of an inch. So 3 1/4 of an inch, 1 inch wide. And I'm just going to I'm going to cover them with what's inside the box. Or maybe, I think I should cover them with what's outside the box because they'll stand out more in the box. So I'm just going to put a little piece of adhesive right here so that I can get that piece stuck to the back of the nugget, even it. And then I'm going to put another little piece of adhesive on this side and wrap it around. And there you go. And so that will go in our little box. Oh yes, I think it's better to use that side than the pattern side, because it just shows so much more. So we're going to try that again. Just for all three of these. Quickly here I can do them. Now I guess you could use the little miniature bars. They just wouldn't be as thick and maybe look as cute as these do. I'm trying to bend that lid back so you can see better. So last one, I'm just going to take this, put it on the back, wrap it around, and overlap it. And then this will go. Like I said, they fit in there very tight. And there we go. Now we need to make the top. So I was trying to decide what color to make the love, because if I used white, I didn't think that that would show up very good, or the blushing bride. So what I went with is, let me find it here. I went with Mossy Meadow. Just because it'll maybe pop a little bit more than the other colors. So I've already put a piece of our adhesive paper on the back, so that when I cut this out in the Stamp and Emboss machine, it will become a sticker. Here's my Stamp and Emboss machine. My platform, my bottom layer, which is a number 2, my piece of cardstock with my die on there. I'm going to set it up this way a little bit more so you can see it. And then I'm going to add the top plate. And you might get a little dizzy as we go through the machine here. And it's going to make my paper get crooked, but that's okay. I will try to straighten it. Okay, so here is our love. And it's all ready to... Now know that the L is separate from the rest of the letters, so don't accidentally throw that away. We're going to poke out the extra pieces, which fall out very easily, especially since the end of my Pick-a tool has tear and tape on there. Okay, so I'm just going to take off this white layer of paper on the back. Maybe. I got it. Okay. And I'm going to decide where to put the L, which it kind of fits a little bit better if you put it a little sideways. So I'm going to put the L like this. I'm glad I did. I think this will, well, let's make it a little bit straighter because we're not going to be able to fit the whole word in there that way. There we go. And then here is the rest of the word. I was just looking to see if anybody else had joined us, but so far no one has. Wouldn't these make a great favor at a table for a wedding, a baby shower, a bridal shower, a birthday party? You could change the design of the paper and what you put on top to match whatever occasion you have. So I've just fallen in love with these words. So, and last but not least, we need a ladybug crawling on the flowers. So I have my ladybug elements here. I'm going to pick one out. I'm going to get my glue dots. And here's a glue dot, and I'm going to lay my ladybug on there, put a little bit of pressure, peel it off, and then decide where I want to stick it. I think on this one, well, I'm definitely not going to stick it down there on the grid paper. So I changed my side of my tool to be my spatula, which will help me decide how to place it. I think I'm going to kind of place it like it's crawling on this flower. And that just adds a little bit to your box. So there we go. We have this one. We have the one where I used the Dandy Garden paper. We have one where, again, I used the flower for every season, and this one I put a belly band on. And I would probably get out my butterfly punch and punch a butterfly here because the ladybugs are a little bit too small. You need something bigger there. I'm thinking, hold on, just let me get my butterfly punch out. I know that this butterfly punch is retired, but I've just kept it because every once in a while I need a butterfly. Not like a real fancy butterfly or anything, but just a butterfly. So what if we put this butterfly flying right here? Wouldn't that look so cute? And if we wanted to, we could get out some of our rhinestones and everything So, there are 3 different ideas of what you could do with this box. And I hope you have a good day, and I'm so happy that you joined me. Bye.